Welcome to the Nuclear Power Institute series of Science in the Kitchen, Cooking Up Curiosity. Delivered by our NPI team members, we explore the science, production, automation, distribution, and workforce behind the Texas food industry, using the kitchen and cooking as alternative platforms to convey STEM knowledge and information. Each cooking episode peppers science factoids throughout the demonstration, and each in the field episode unearths the STEM before food enters the kitchen. So, the next time you're in some type of field or in some sort of kitchen, we hope we've cooked up your curiosity to discover the science while you're there.
So we let the dough rest, covered in a little saran wrap for a bit, just like that. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna try and roll it out. A little flour helps it not to get stuck. You wanna try and roll it out, Jace, with a rolling pin?
Sure.
Here, take a rolling pin.
Okay.
There you go.
Wait, so I just roll it?
Yeah, roll it. Go ahead. There you go. Perfect. Now you can see all the hard work that we did, getting those to flatten out and to line up.
This is harder than I thought it would
It
be.
is pretty hard, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But all that work to get them to line up is kind of paying off now. Now, notice. See how it kind of goes back to its shape?
Yeah.
It's kind of elastic. If we let it rest even longer, you could get rid of some of that elasticity. You want some help?
Sure.
So again,
Oh, so
Yeah.
you just kind
rock
of
it back and forth.
Yeah, kind of rock it back and forth.
The main thing we don't want to do is we don't want to tear it, because we work so hard getting those strands to line up. Again, if we went too far, then it would tear. Now, if this were pizza dough, we'd expect it to be even more elastic. And that's okay. We're going to roll it out. Now, behind us,
So it kind of does look like pizza dough.
kind of does look like pizza dough. Now, behind us, let me just show you real quick over here. We have some hot water going in the pot here. We're going to add a good amount of salt to the pot as well. Now, salting the pasta, people will tell you that salting the pasta is very important because it raises the boiling point and it does all this other stuff too. I think the real reason that we salt our pasta is really simple. I think we salt our pasta so that we get good flavor. Remember, we did not add any salt to our dough, and so we need that salt coming from somewhere. We're going to go ahead and keep rolling.
Starting to hear noises.
Yeah. What do you think that is, Jace?
Is it boiling?
Is it?
I don't know. It feels really hot.
It is. You got to be careful.
Why do we have to flip it?
It helps it not to get stuck. That's a really good question. If we leave it there for too long, this pasta dough isn't crazy wet, but it is a little bit wet. You think we're thin enough, or should we go thinner?
I think we're thin enough.
Okay. Jay says we're thin enough, guys.
Do you think we are thin enough?
I think we are too, bud. Are you asking the audience?
I'm asking both of you.
Well, that's really smart. Okay. One more time.
Let's go, roller.
All right.
Pretty thin.
All right, so a little trick.
Okay. Ooh, looks kind of dangerous.
Okay.
I guess you just have to do it right.
That's right.
You gotta know what you're doing.
That's right. Okay, so I've got my pasta rolled out real thin. Now, for most of the things, I don't mind Jace helping me, but there's a few things that I don't want help on.
Like the dangerous parts.
Yeah, the dangerous
parts.
parts.
For adults.
Parts for adults. That's right, Jace. Like using knives and stuff like that. Make sure you get your parents to help you.
Correct.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll it up a little bit.
Roll it.
Yep, roll it up. And then I'm going to cut it into thin strips.
Ooh. You know, I kind of get the idea of that because when you swirl it up, it kind of looks like a spiral, just like normal pasta.
It kind of does. What were you saying about the spirals, Chase?
The The spirals kind of look like the pasta when it's done.
Kind of does, yeah. So now we take it and we let it unravel. Here, grab some and unravel it.
Okay.
Now these are thicker than I typically like, but they'll still be just as delicious. Now if they start to stick again, just take a little bit of flour, sprinkle the flour on there, and that'll keep them from sticking together.
Okay,
Do you hear that water?
Yeah.
I think that water's about to start boiling, don't you?
Yeah. What does it sound like when water boils?
Sounds like bubbling to me. Now again, these are real thick, and so they're going to make nice, kind of thicker style pasta.
What
So not
temperature is water's boiling point?
well. If it's pure water, it's 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. This isn't pure water though. It's got some salt in it, and that salt raises the boiling point. Now honestly, we probably only raised it about a degree or so, not very much at all. So
Flour?
again, just so it doesn't
Yeah.
stick together. That's the worst thing is when it sticks together. So let's check on our water real quick.
And even if it does stick together, you can always add some flour.
That's right. We don't want it to stick together even in the pot though. Ooh, I think we got some boiling going on, guys.
Ooh. Now be careful, this is really hot water.
That's right. Jace, you want to hold the camera?
Sure.
Okay, hold the camera. Hold it up high. Can you see?
I think we got some boiling going on, guys.
Okay, so I'm going to drop our pasta in. Here's the nice thing about fresh pasta. Normal pasta or dry pasta from the store takes quite a while to cook. This pasta is only going to take just a few minutes to cook.
Daddy's homemade pasta. Or in this episode, Daddy and Jace's homemade pasta.
It is our homemade pasta, Jace. Now, it's a good idea to give this just a little stir when you start, just so it doesn't stick together, like we mentioned.
Why
But-
don't we want it to stick together?
Well, because then you have a big gloopy mess.
Ooh. I see where you're going.
In about a minute, it'll probably take 2, maybe even 3 minutes for this to cook because it's so thick. But we'll take a piece out and we'll give it a try, see if it's delicious and al dente here in just a minute.
Delish.
So we're at about 3 minutes in. The pasta's kind of risen to the top. Now, a lot of people will strain their pasta. Now, you'll notice it looks pretty thick. It's going to expand a little bit. That's okay, though. And it's okay that it's thick because it's still going to be delicious. I don't like to strain my pasta water because I like to use it as a way to add to a sauce, because that will help the sauce stick to the pasta, because there's all that starch in there from the flour that we added, and also just the flour that the pasta's made from, that we don't want to just throw out. Now at this point, I've got 2 very hungry kiddos, so I think we're going to call this episode there. Jace, you have anything you want to say to the camera?
See you later. We're going to be back with more shows for you to see and more things